have any as we close out? Like, I always like to go somewhere southern in the thick of of our winter. But of course, you're not primed for it. You haven't had the sun exposure on your skins. Are there any recommendations as to not sunburn when you go down, since you haven't been priming your skin? It would watching the sunset, wherever you or the eyes wherever you are, be helpful.
Oh, absolutely. Because wherever you are, even if you live in Mexico, you should always see the sunrise and everything, because it makes a solar callus, and it basically your body starts to expect UV light later. Because if you never saw the sunrise, wore sunglasses all the time, and then just went outside and you'd sat in blue light for 20 years, of course you're going to burn. And that opens up all of these skin people have got a big fear of the sun, or it causes cancer and stuff like that. It's like, well, maybe it's you wearing sunglasses and being in blue light all the time, never seeing the sunrise, and suddenly roasting yourself in the sun and getting very burnt. That's not the sun's fault. That's you not behaving appropriately in it. But I think, say, if somebody was living in the UK or Canada or Montana or something, and they wanted to go to Mexico for the first time, that they'd have to embrace the really capitalize on the morning sun. And then you can make vitamin D in places like that way before noon, because ideally you want the UVI over 5. And even the local people there wouldn't go out in the really hot noon sun. And also the other thing is using the shade. You get loads of benefits being in the shade. And the way the body makes vitamin D, it doesn't actually like you baking yourself like a jacket potato in the sun. If it's very hot, it prefers you to go out and come in, go out, come in, go out, come in, and then using the shade. So I think it's just about never underestimate how important the sunrise is when you go to a new place where there's lots and lots of extra sun. And if you wear sunglasses, your brain thinks it's dark. So it's not expecting a load of sun on it, because the body, everything's connected, and biology is all on prediction. Everything that our body does, it always wants to know, well, what's going to happen in half an hour or 20 minutes or 3 days? How can I get ready? So if you wore sunglasses and then suddenly went out in the sun, it's going to not be ready. And then when we talk about sunblock and stuff like that, the problem with that is, first of all, it blocks the UV light as it's supposed to, and that just confuses the brain, because the eyes are getting one signal and the place you didn't put the sun cream is getting one signal, and then everything else getting something different. So it's confusing. But also the sunblock, the way the optics work, it blocks the UV, but it lets more of the blue and the cyan light through the skin, so you can just get more open to basal cell carcinomas and other problems, because you block one light and then more of a different color that can get through. So that's the other thing, because I know people all of a sudden get kind of anxious about sunblock, because when I was in CVS earlier, I saw a factor 80, and I've never seen that before for sunblock.
Oh, I haven't either. I've never seen it above 50. I don't even look sunblock anymore.
No.
Oh my goodness.
So I'd say to people, don't buy the factor 70 or 80 in CVS. Use clothing like cotton clothes, kaniki, swimwear, because still a lot of light's going to get. I've tested this a few times about how much light gets through cotton and stuff like that. So light still comes through to give you a signal, but it protects you enough from being burnt. Then you can get things like kanikis, which is swimwear that lets light through. I have to measure everything just to see, but it's better than nothing. And then not to think the shade is not offering any benefits, because some people think, oh no, I'm going for the sun, I must lie in it for 10 hours because I've done this great big migration to the sun. But the shade's got a huge amount of benefit as well. And like I said, going in and out, in and out, in and out, is a more optimal way, or just avoid the noon sun altogether, because for some people it's still just way too hot. And get your sun from sunrise, the morning, wait for it to set a little, go down a bit, and optimize the afternoon sun, because there's still UVA light in the afternoon. And also in places like Mexico and Costa Rica, there's going to be plenty of opportunities to make vitamin D in the afternoon as well.